What is up, guys? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a couple of interesting items in from Rike Knife that we're going to take a look at. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, I am actually going to start with the bigger box because I think you'll hang out a little bit longer for the smaller box. So what do we have in here? We have the tactical shears from Rike Knife, and these are actually pretty interesting. Now, I shared these with the girls in the house, and they did mention that they look like cutting shears that you would use in the kitchen. And I had one aunt that said that these look like shears that you would use out in like a garden or something like that. So pick your poison on the particular use of these shears. And I did bring a little piece of cardboard out here just to kind of demonstrate. They are very effective, and you can be as accurate as you'd like to be with these particular shears here. So I thought that was pretty cool. They have a nice safety lock mechanism on here. And then when you release, I believe you can take them all the way apart so that you can easily clean these. So you put them in place, you move the safety lever up, and then once you put the safety lever up, that's what keeps them from separating. They're very comfortable on the hands ergonomically. Like I said, they feel like they have a good amount of force without putting too much pressure on the hand when you go to use these. But those are the tactical shears, and let's jump into the folding knife. All right, guys, in the box is your typical Rike box here. Not too much to write home about on the box, which I prefer. I rather them spend the money on the knife and give me the value from the knife. You get a nice little taco with 2 pockets and your typical Rike gear. And then in here you have the S05, right? Am I saying that right? Oh, I'm sorry. You have the S05P. I missed the P there. So you have a smaller folder on here with a very unique design, almost reminds me of a PS controller kind of. You have a minimal flipper tab with an opening hole, and you do have some very beautiful Timascus on here. Very well done. Blue Anno hardware to match that pocket clip, and a beautiful backspacer on here. I really like the way that that looks. You can always count on Rike to have some really nice finishing touches on here with their knives, and you have a reground drop point blade on here. Like I said, medium size. I hang off the back just a tiny bit, not a bunch. So a nice comfortable grip. You have flat scales that are very well chamfered. You do have a frame lock with a lock bar insert. A little bit of a late detent on here. I would like to see that just a little bit earlier. I do apologize for the bird. We are outside. Nature is going to be nature. But the flipper tab on this has very good jimping. I was a little worried about that lower profile. And you can see very small, tight jumps right out on the edge, which is where you want to hit your flipper tab with this type of lighting switch. And if you want to overcome that detent, I have found just coming back here allows you to get past that quite easily. Very smooth action on this one here. You do have M390 steel. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, so I will try to zoom in. I love the way that they do their print. I like that font. It's very nice. And then, as I mentioned, very smooth action. 2-tone blade, if you didn't see that. 2 different finishes on the blade. You have a nice satin finish, and then you kind of have more of a sandblasted finish on there. Now, I do want to point out, I'm not quite sure if that is 2 different types of materials that they sandwiched together on here. Almost looks like brass or copper, and I couldn't find the detail on how that one is done. I do apologize. This crow, I've recorded other videos and the crow was not here and it's been quiet, and now all of a sudden he's over here doing, I guess, like a mating call. You know what I haven't tried to do with this is to thumb flick it. Yeah, if you come down onto the pocket clip, you can thumb flick that pretty easily. Let's go ahead and do some quick size comparisons, guys. All right, changing the angle up here. On the bottom, I have my sub caliber. On the top, I do have the Berg Blade Alpha. And as you can see, the S05P actually is kind of in between these two as far as size comparisons go. Let me go ahead and get these out of the way, and we'll go ahead and wrap up with my final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, time for final thoughts and impressions on this one here. If you're not familiar with my rating system, I do grade on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Being that this has M390 Super Steel with titanium hardware and Timascus pocket clip on there with a Timascus backspacer, this absolutely is eligible to use the full range of my rating system. What I take into account is the performance, the aesthetics, the money for value, and the performance both with the cutting and with the actual deployment. I really do like the stuff coming out of Rike. This is very unique and different, which is what I think they kind of excel in, but not so egregious that I think it's going to put people out or put people off as far as how this one is done. Not a big fan of the recurve, but it is a very nice cutter. And again, I don't have all of my usual stuff because we're not quite in the new house, but you can see here, very nice and slicey M390 blade. I just was able to lightly test this one, so not any extensive tests like I'm normally able to do, so I do apologize for that. For me on this one, taking everything into account that you're getting here and the finishes on this particular one, let's do that with the Timascus face up. I really do like this one. I think I'm going to go 7.6 on this one. Really cool. If it was just a regular drop point, I'd probably bump it up to like an 8.1, but I really loathe a recurve. I know performance wise, it's actually pretty good at trapping material. And as you can see, it was very slicey with the cardboard, but just aesthetically, not really my thing. But I think this is really cool and excellent fit and finish on this one. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. I do have affiliate links if you're interested. You can definitely use those links and it'll help the channel. That is totally up to you guys. If you enjoyed today's video, a like would be appreciated. If you're enjoying the content, definitely consider subscribing. I'd love to have you follow along as I grow the channel. Special shout out and thanks to my channel member guys. That's it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.